Cassie Fox, aka Doris, and I am the bass Doris of Doris.
And how would you describe your sound?
We are a mummy core kitchen punk, kitchen pop band, I guess. We tend to change our genre for every gig. We're kind of experimenting with new cowgirl at the moment. But yeah, we have a range of sounds.
So you were saying that you were performing at a few different festivals recently. Did you explore different genres for each festival? How did those festivals go for Doris and different lineups as well?
Yeah, well, Doris is kind of a collective of Dorises, because we're all adult women who have lots of different calls on our times. Lots of us are mums, or dog mums, and we're in other bands, and we run Loud Women, and we have jobs and all sorts of things. Um, we can't always play all of the gigs, so we have a collective of, honestly, I haven't counted all the Dorises. There might be about, there's more than 10 of us. There might be kind of edging up towards 20 kind of Dorises in total. And there's definitely enough for a party. It, but yeah, so we kind of see who's available for each gig. So each time we have this kind of Spinal Tap rotation of drummers, particularly. So like the last 6 gigs, we've had a different drummer each time, which is fun. So the Doris sound is different every time. And we've got some new songs actually. We played Rebellion Festival again. It was like our 4th time at Rebellion Festival this summer. And we were given a much longer set than we were expecting. So I was like, oh crikey, I better write some more songs. So I wrote, we've got some bangers. We've got a Beach Body Ready, which is our surf hit of the summer. I'm actually recording it this week as well. And so yeah, so that was kind of written for Rebellion. It's a kind of if you've got a body, put it on the beach. So that was kind of dedicated to Blackpool Beach, but other beaches are available. We've got a cowboy song as well. Kind of looking at the kind of toxic masculinity in the cowboy community, and kind of showing these cowboys that it's okay to cry too, and that sort of thing. So that's been going down a storm. For that song, we tend to invite a cis-het man from the crowds to come up and be the cowboy, and ride his horse on stage. And it's quite a thing. But yeah, that's been going down really well at the festivals. So we'll be doing that at Loud Women Fest. We've also, our latest song that came out in June was Not Done Yet, which was a collaboration with Dunstan Bruce. So at some of our gigs lately, he's been jumping up on stage and joining us for that too. So that's Dunstan Bruce of Chumbawamba in Terabang. And he's just released a solo single as well, actually. But yeah, I think he's going to be coming to Loud Women Fest too, and joining us hopefully.
So that is more than enough incentive. I mean, I want to see the cowboy one for sure. Since you
My
mentioned,
worry is finding a cishet man in the room at Loud Women Fest.
I'll help you. We'll find a way.
Yeah, we'll find
Where
one
there's
out.
a will, there's a way. And as you mentioned, Loud Women Fest, which Loud Women artists would you say that inspire you?
Oh, all of them, and kind of new ones each time. I'm particularly excited about the kind of the newer bands that we've been putting on lately, and the younger bands too. I know that seems unusual, because I'm all about kind of championing the women who are over 40 and still rocking, and that's very much what Doris is about. But it's also super exciting to know that teenagers are picking up guitars, and teenage girls kind of feel that there's a place for them on stage and a place for them in bands still, and that's great. Was really inspired by the Dullheads who came and played for us last year at Loud Women Fest, and also played for us at Rebellion as well. They're like teenagers ranging from 13 to 17. We've also got Baby Said coming to play Loud Women Fest as well. They're teen sisters, 17, 19. So yeah, it's great that the youth are still flying the flag for punk rock.
I look at this question, were you excited when you heard you'd been picked? So I'm gonna like on that one.
Every year I wonder, oh my goodness, I wonder whether Doris will make it through the rigorous application process, and the really quite tough panel that meets to choose the lineup for Loud Women Fest. As you'll know, MIRI, you've sat on that panel. But amazingly, Doris has made it through yet again. And it has a really good slot on the lineup as well, kind of just before dinner time. I don't know how they do it, but yeah, well done us.
It's like everything just falls into place. It's just perfect. You mentioned, you know, young well, championing female non-binary trans musicians 40 plus. What was it like for you when you were a young person and you were a young girl, young woman as a musician?
I wasn't a musician, is the answer to that. I didn't actually get into music until I think I was 32 the first time I played in a band. I was 32 and pregnant. So I've done everything a bit backwards. And I really regret it. I really regret my teens and 20s for lots of reasons. But yeah, there's years where I could have been in a band. I just never considered that world was somewhere that I could be. And I was always adjacent to it. I had friends who were in bands. I was hanging around with bands, and I had boyfriends, girlfriends who played music, and I never considered the kind of musical background that I had, which, kind of piano lessons and all the, exams and stuff. I never considered that as something that could be translated to the music that I loved listening to and the bands that I loved going to see. So yeah, it took me a while to catch on, really. But maybe that's why I kind of champion this now for younger people to because it is so important that people feel that the punk space is for them, and that there is a place for them there. And so that they don't wait until they're 32. But if they do wait until they're 32, there's a place for them too. And they can carry on until they're, oh God, what am I now? Do you forget what age you are? Honestly, I think I'm 46, and I've spent so long kind of thinking that I was 47, that it's actually going to be quite a gift when I turn 47. I was like, oh yeah, I've already done that. Anyway, I'll cut that bit out. I
Um,
just go on a tangent.
do you think that if platforms like Loud Women existed when you were younger, as like a young person, do you think that would have changed? I think it's incredible that you sort of started late and that you've achieved everything that you have and also championed so many other artists. But do you think things would have been different if Loud Women existed when you were a young person?
Quite possibly. I mean, it was different. It was different times, Mary. It's different times. So when I was kind of like, I always think like 14, 15 is that catalyst age, isn't it? It's when everything happens. It's when your musical taste is kind of cemented for life. And for me, that was like the peak of the Riot Girl era. So I was kind of listening to Bikini Kill, Huggy Bear, those sorts of bands, and getting inspired by that. But still kind of nothing stuck. I still didn't feel like I was cool enough or um or just able to get involved in being in a band, or I didn't have the confidence. I didn't have the infrastructure around me as well. I was the poor kid at the posh school, and so it was it tiny little violins here. but but yeah, I think basically Loud Women kind of was, or a kind of a 90s version of Loud Women was there. I always think that Loud Women is, like it's like the grown-up evolved version of Riot Girl. It's, the Riot Girls who've grown up, lived a bit, popped out some kids, had some jobs, and discovered intersectional feminism, is basically where we are now. But yeah, so sorry to answer your question. I think there's so many factors that need to be right for someone to feel that they've got access to music. They've got to have the money, the time, and as well as the inspiration and the support of a community, who are kind of standing around you going, yeah, your turn now, you give it a go, here's a guitar, go and make a racket with it. But yeah, hopefully we're doing that for the young uns of of the 2020s.
What challenges would you say that Doris has experienced as a band? And I'd also like to ask that for you as a promoter as well, like without throwing too many questions at you, but maybe Doris, first of all, what challenges have you experienced within the band or come across?
Well, iDice's main challenge is diary management. With so many busy Dorises, we're all super forgetful as well. Loads of us are in a kind of haze of perimenopause or menopause. So we tend to be really forgiving of each other for forgetting things, losing things, not turning up at the wrong time, that sort of thing. But yeah, above and beyond that, we're pretty lucky, really. We get booked for loads of really exciting things. We've had a crazy summer of festivals, which has been brilliant. We love playing festivals, and we tend to go down really well with the festival crowd. But yeah, we've also, I think Loud Women has allowed us to do some really fun things as well, like play New York, play the Royal Albert Hall. That yeah, maybe things that we might not have got to do otherwise as as your next band. But who knows? Maybe I'm being unfair to Doris. Perhaps we'd have got to do that. But yeah, I guess it's not so much a challenge as an observation, as that we don't often get to play with men, which is quite nice sometimes to play with the men folk, and to kind of play on regular lineups, I guess. We kind of exist in this nice kind of feminist punk bubble. But yeah, it'd be nice to get some gigs on, just like, your regular. It'll be nice, I hear Oasis are reforming. Maybe they need a support band. We could warm up the Oasis crowd. Just putting it out there, Gallagher's, um, just forget everything that I've said about you in the past. Yeah, I'll stop talking now.
No, I think that's a really good point though, because I think this idea of like feminism, it's it's about, well, for me, it's about inclusivity, and it's great to have these spaces, but it's also important for us all to work together. And the idea is that female gender diverse musicians are quality, and they're no less than the male musicians. And it is important for us to be on the same stages. And when we have those platforms, you know, I don't know about you, but I always find that, oh yeah, I'm getting more followers, but you need people to open the door for you. So it's important. If Doris, could have a song in a TV show or streaming show, what song would it be? What show would it be? And if we go even deeper, what type of scene would it be? So like Grey's Anatomy, you know, they always have these beautiful songs playing at the end. No, not Grey's Anatomy. It was this other show called Amsterdam. It doesn't matter. You catch the
I
drift.
get it. I get it. Oh, that's such a good question. So I think HRT is possibly my favorite Doris song. It kind of encapsulates the stage of life that we're at. It also kind of, you know, encapsulates the gender diversity in the band as well. There's you know, there's members of the band that are using HRT for different reasons. Um, and yeah, it's something that's very close to my heart as I kind of forget where my keys are or what I walked into the room for or what was I saying like a million times every day. So yeah, so I'm waffling now because I'm trying to think of I don't know, we've been watching a lot of Gilmore Girls in this house lately. It's kind of summer holidays. And my son is on this kind of Gilmore Girls marathon for, it must be about the fifth time he's watched the whole series. So yeah, so maybe the Loreleis could be kind of experimenting with HRT. I don't know whether Laura, yeah, maybe not the Gilmore Girls, maybe Killing Eve. You mentioned Killing Eve. Perhaps she should be kind of, you know, involved in some kind of grisly crime scene with HRT in the background. Doctor, doctor, what's wrong with me? I haven't finished rocking at 43. Does that answer it?
Yeah. Loving this for Doris. Is there any final words that you'd like, not like in general, but just like for the interview, anything you'd like to share about Loud Women, anything about Doris, any upcoming releases, or yeah, maybe Loud Women actually. Let's
So yay, come to Loud Women Fest, 7th of September at Rich Mix. I am so excited about this year's lineup. I say this every year, but I really feel like this is our strongest lineup yet. Amazing bands coming from all over the world. And it's all ages as well. So no need to pay for a babysitter. Bring the kids, they'll love it. We're going to feed you. There's going to be our sponsors, Snag Tights. There you go. Maybe I'll cut that a bit out. They're going to be coming along to show off some tights. There's going to be speakers from all sorts of awesome groups coming along as well as a full day of amazing music. So yeah, come along and support the scene. And Doris will be playing. We'll be playing our new songs and our old favourites too. And we'll have some special guests joining us on stage as well. So it's going to be a special day.